while. Just, or, well, that's been happening over the past decade or so. So, when it comes to America as well as what it is, and a lot of us throw off what we're actually doing as American citizens. Be loose and not well, loosely stated at least right now, because I'm pretty poor when it comes to wording things, but I'll try my best to. Now, America for the past decade or so, or 2 decades now, because of George W. Bush, oh man, I'm lagging. Now, we have had a war for over a decade. We've been in multiple wars. We have been all of humanity simply because we're Americans. Just because you're Americans doesn't mean you're automatically doing good. Just because it's something that's legal in America does not mean it's automatically good. And just because the President of the United States believes that it's okay to put kids in fucking cages doesn't make it okay. Even if it's legal to do so. That is a terrible, terrible statement to be like, well, they legally could. They legally did it. But, yeah, you see, that's the problem. Doesn't matter what's legal. Like, at all. What matters is what, at least in my opinion, what matters is how can we maximize the positive impact we have on the planet. And right now, it's not that great. Right now, all it's been is just us attacking others, us literally going in and taking resources from others, and maybe not even just America, but just the individuals that live in America that have the power to do so, like big corporations and so on. America has 30% of the entire world's wealth. Now, a lot of people would be like, well, that's a good thing, right? Well, personally, I don't think so. I mean, we have 30% of the wealth. We have game shows that waste food and so on and so forth. Now, I'm not saying that we can't enjoy things like that. Of course, I enjoy freaking knife fight or death or whatever it's called. But that's not the point. It's the fact that we're in this world that does that while simultaneously we have kids in cages that need food. You know, and we have a ton of resources to be and we're capable of actually doing something about it. But we have, well, in general, we have people that are politicians, people that are considered elites, not the working class. Like, the working class is just kind of stuck in this perpetual cycle of, well, I need to get to work. Cool. Well, I can't really think of anything because I got to go to school so I can get to work again. And I have to work all my life in order just to get a medium wage that might be better than my neighbors, but if I screw up, I'm kind of screwed up for life. That's bullshit to me. Why is that a good country that allows its citizens to just outright die because they don't have health care? That they can't even live a normal life, a good life. I wouldn't say normal. Normal's kind of very subjective to the society that you're in. But just, why can't we do something about that? Why haven't we? Is it because the people that are in control are doing something? Is it because the citizens haven't rallied together to do anything about it? Well, it's not broadcasting anymore, but hopefully it broadcasts my voice at least for a few more minutes. Donald Trump has already, again, started amping up his very racist remarks towards Congressman Elijah, I think he's a congressman, sorry if I'm wrong, but Elijah Cummings, talking about his district being trash and filled with rodents and rats, and I don't know, that maybe that's a problem. We have one of the most powerful people on the planet complain about how weak and how pathetic everything else is, but simultaneously saying that he's the only person that can do it, even though he's been shown to be inconsistent in everything he does. Like, there's reasons that people compare him to Hitler. Like, it's not just, oh well, I'm just gonna do this because it's fun, or so on. You have to be honest with yourself about what's going on today. Try. Today we have kids in cages. We have people that don't have food every day. Like, one of my brothers is going to college, be a lawyer and so on, right? And I would love for him to be a damn lawyer. Absolutely love it. But I hate the fact that he is constantly put in a position to where if he doesn't go to work someday, or maybe it doesn't work out with him going to this college and going to where he wants to go, there's a chance that he will be in debt the rest of his life. And like, at what point did America just decide, well, your entire life is going to be presented in this one set of rules, right? You go to school, you learn, and then you come home, you do your chores, be a good son, be a good family person or daughter, right? Then it doesn't matter what you actually feel whenever you're doing all this, by the way, because you're a kid, you don't get a voice. And then you're pushed to make decisions across the aisle of your life, saying that, well, if you didn't do well in school, why should you go to college? You didn't do well. You obviously were lazy or slacking off to not get good grades, right? Let's just throw out any sort of context within this system. I don't get it. Like, we have the resources to help people, and we just don't. We have the resources to one person. Now, maybe I'm just dumb and with my small fucking brain here, but why does Jeff Bezos have the same has more net worth than the entire company of Disney? One person first, and he can pay for multitudes of kids. He can pay for their food, house. He can build a home for every single homeless person in our country right now, and still have billions of dollars left over. What is up with that? Like, that's a problem. Why is it okay that these people die because you want one person, one individual, to be able to have the choice and the power to do other things, but you take away that choice from individuals that are forced into these situations? Whenever you grow up with barely any money and you simply just cannot, absolutely cannot focus on anything but your parents because you're so worried about getting food, or you're worried about making or having money, or you're worried about a ton of things other than school, how is that your fault? You didn't choose the life your parents chose. And then that's assuming your school system is even capable of accepting you, because our schools are severely underfunded, and yet we continuously say how, oh, our kids are the most important or whatever, they're the next world or whatever, but simultaneously we don't listen to kids whenever they're in high school because they're just kids. That's it. They don't understand something. No, it doesn't matter how old someone is, at all. If there's something good that they say, then that's it. That doesn't change where it came from. what they're saying is right, it's right. And things of our society that is shown to be actually better, primarily because of our education. Like, overall, our education has risen because of public schools. We should be able to, like, have public schools across for everyone. Why is that a problem? Why not? Like, are you afraid of education? Like, why can't we have? Because I guess you want to say, oh well, who's gonna pay for it all? Well, shit, I would. Like, the rich people would. This what taxes are for. I don't understand why everyone makes this big old fear-mongering bullshit about taxes, but taxes are a useful tool. You use it to, like, just because it goes from one person to the government, you get scared, but whenever it goes from you know, the person making the product, to one individual that holds the fucking power over you, you're okay with that? Like, that one individual, even though you know at least the government because you vote for it, the government. Now, I'm an anarchist. Now, I don't believe in any sort of unjustified authority or hierarchies or anything like that. However, we need a transitioning period to be able to build our society towards that goal, rather than consistently staying in the same stagnant life of, well, these people died because they were lazy, even though, you know, everything says they weren't. Everything says that they did not decide any of the decisions that had happened. They're just kids, and they grow up in poverty, not understanding. That's why you have drugs that get taken, because kids are depressed. They see the world out there, and everything they see is crap. They can't feed themselves. They can't, like, and you'd expect them just to bow down to whatever you say just because now. Like, it's frustrating to me. I'm sorry, but it really is, because we have 1/3 of the wealth of the fucking planet, and yet we can't even fund our own goddamn schools. How is this not talked about? How? We have so much wealth. Like, I can't even think of $100,000, right? Now, it's just me, and I'm sure there's other people that are probably smarter than me that can think about it. But, motherfuckers, tax the shit out of these people. They will have enough money to do something with it. That's it. At the end of the goddamn day, the people that are suffering are the poorest people. And to be honest, I don't give a fuck if they're lazy. We have the resources to give just about everyone. Well, actually, we do have the resources to give everyone food. We have double the amount of food production than people that are alive. And not only that, but also it shows the more education that people have, especially when it comes to sex education, as well as the higher, if someone is in a higher status of the social hierarchy or the economic hierarchy, they are less likely to have kids. So not only would we battle against the supposed overpopulation bullshit that's been passed around since fucking 1800s, maybe earlier, but you also give people food. You give them water, rather than, you know, just making memes about how bad Nestle is, but then, like, how our government refuses to do anything about it. But don't worry, Nestle's okay. Like, shit. They're gonna get, like, what's gonna happen to them? They're gonna get a fine, and then no one's gonna go to jail. Or if they do go to jail, well, they make jobs. So, because our entire fucking obsession with jobs is stupid. the entire presumption of, well, we have no unemployment, so that means it's good, right? Hey. So many people have that obsession. Just, well, the job rate's good, everyone has jobs, let's forget about the people who can't get jobs. And that's not even talking about how capitalism itself is built upon the idea of having people that can't work, because then you have that threat of, well, you don't want to be like this guy, right? He can't get food. You need to work to get food. But that's not a threat, right? I mean, shit. It can't be a threat. They are choosing to do it with this one particular person. It's like, one person has a gun, one person has a shotgun, the other person has a knife, but you have to be killed by one of them. And how is that a fucking choice? Like, do people just stop thinking about that shit? And I don't blame them either. You know why? Because they're too busy fucking working. They don't. Why would they? Everything is around work, work, work. I'm tired, I'm exhausted, I don't want to deal with stuff, I want to relax, I want to be a human fucking being, I want to enjoy my life. And that's what they end up doing. But we have this... What's the word I'm looking for? This infatuation with the idea of working a lot and making a lot of money, right? And cool. Make your money, whatever, right? The problem with that is that no one accepts that people need to relax, people need to enjoy themselves, people need to be a human being around other human fucking beings.
Thank you.
But we just forget that somehow. Just as a species, I guess. Or at least in the culture of America, it's like that. Like, they have everyone work. Oh man, like saw on Fox News how they were so excited. Like, this one guy was touting how excited he was, how amazing it is that multiple Americans can work more than one job whenever they're older. Even though those people that are working more than one job cannot afford their living on one fucking job, so they're forced to take more time out of their life. We only get one of them, guys. I don't care what you believe in. Like, we only got one. And we're using that to work. And not for the benefits of people, by the way, but primarily for the benefit of small group of individuals that say that, like, and what makes it all worse is that so many people get outraged over things, and some small things change here and there, but nothing actually happens. Like, shit, I don't know what the hell's going on at the border, other than the fact that we're caging people for it, and and apparently Obama started it. Okay, I don't give a fuck. I don't care who started it. It shouldn't happen. Just hands down, should not fucking happen. Like, just because, I don't care what president it was, it's wrong. I feel like our divide, as if we're all, like, against certain teams, rather than against certain ideas. And that's a problem. Because if a Democrat that is touting right-wing policies, they will still consider them a fucking Democrat. Even, like, Hillary Clinton, she's very, very center-right, but she's considered a Democrat. She's considered the left. And then what ends up happening is people conflate the Democratic Party with everyone else in the Democratic Party, and there's a problem there because each one has different fucking ideas what they want to do with the planet, or the country, say. But then, like, we don't do anything for our country. Like, we're so busy arguing over what team we're on, rather than the idea of, well, we shouldn't have fucking kids in our goddamn in cages, right? Like, just throw out Democrat, throw out fucking Republican, don't give a fucking title, throw all that shit out. What do you want? You want a society that is benefits? That can happen. Like, this is something that is capable of happening, but we're so preoccupied with what team they're on, they ignore any sort of idea from them. Shit. Like if Trump started shouting ideas that I agreed with, I would agree with him. Why does it matter what party he's in? It really shouldn't matter. We shouldn't have parties at all. We should have individuals that represent us, rather than individuals that represent their party. But we don't. We have people that we have some that represent the people, some that say they represent the people, and then others that just basically just literally just don't represent the people. They represent themselves, and that's it. Like shit. And not only that, but also, why do we care primarily about profit over human beings in general? Why do we have that separation between a human being and Americans? You can still be an American and be a patriot and still criticize them. If I had a friend that literally would just walk away and just leave me just because I said something controversial, rather than explaining to me, hey, Trip, guess what, man? You fucked up. That was stupid. I would prefer that friend any fucking day. That friend actually gives a shit about me. Because he knows, or she knows, I did something wrong, or bad. And critiquing me and accepting that I did wrong is a benefit for both parties. You're capable of not only growing as an individual because you learn something from another individual that you could not possibly see because of confirmation bias, because of just straight up bias. And we see each other through other people's eyes a lot. Our entire society is based off of, well, the individual is the most important thing, right? But here's the thing. We have done it to the point now where it's like, well, as long as it's not really affecting me, it's okay. I'm okay with this thing. Which is a problem for me. Because, fucking children in cages. I will not stop fucking talking about that shit, like, at all. That's stupid. That is happening. I don't care. I don't give a fuck what anyone says. That's stupid. One of the worst things that a country could do to any individual is put them in a fucking cage. But not only do we put them in cages, we put kids in cages. And that's okay because they crossed the border even though they had no choice in the matter? I also find it interesting that so many right-wing people in general, they talk about how bad our education system, how leftist it is, and so on and so forth, right? At what point does something become an actual fact or a opinion? Like, so, say, we have certain ideas that we have shown evidentially that they work. And in the past, they have been deemed left-wing policies. Now, if they work, and they are beneficial not only for us as a nation, but also as the individual, I don't believe in those words. Everything you say is just a pipe dream. Even though, yeah, no, it is a pipe dream. But happiness is a direction, not a destination. At all. And the moment you start making it a destination, is the moment you stop growing. You believe that you've already done what you needed to do. You don't need to change anymore, even though that's not true. We're changing throughout our entire life. We're learning throughout our entire life. We are, like, and I don't even know where that came from, where it's like, well, you only need to learn in school. I guess that might have been just in general our culture down here in the South, but I've always liked to learn. Always. I don't care where I was. It's like, it made no sense to me at all to not learn something. To just... Now, accepting that I like to learn stuff, or I'm not sounding anyone that doesn't like to learn, okay? But I believe that it's a cultural problem that we have. So it prevents people from trying to learn new things because they already believe they are the best that they can be. And sure, okay. Let's say you get to a point where you automatically feel, wow, that trace is really good. You get to a point where you feel that you're the best that ever was, right? But then someone comes up to you and tells you, hey, look, this thing really hurt me. Can we talk about it? What are you gonna do? Are you just gonna throw them out because you're the perfect person? Or are you going to disregard them? Are you gonna work with them to try to figure out the problem that has happened? Whether it's a miscommunication, which that happens a lot to people. People hear things sometimes that they want to hear, and sometimes they don't pay attention enough, and so because they're so preoccupied with trying to respond to you rather than listen to you. I used to do this all the time. I still do it sometimes. It's a problem that I'm working on, but it's not something that just, boom, already done, right? But we can't do that until we actually accept that we need to move forward, rather than believing that we're already at the point where we need to stop. Like, this is the same thing with the civil rights movement that's been happening. Not that's been happening, but, like, people believe that, well, Obama's president, that means everything's equal, right? That's, like, blatantly false in any sense of the word. So why is that? Man, I don't know. I'm just frustrated over, I know I'm rambling, which is probably going to be the most of my videos, to be honest with you. But, shit, man. We have kids in camps. Get that through your fucking heads, guys. Kids in camps, not a good thing. I don't care if it was fucking legal to put kids in camps, and we had the fucking Constitution saying that it was. That's not good. The fucking obsession with the law is another frustrating thing I have. It's the presumption that because something is the law, or is something that is illegal, that is automatically deemed negative or bad. Why? There's no context as to why the law was made, what the impact of the law has on people, like the drug laws, the drug wars that we basically created because of our shitty law system, and attacking it as a crime rather than a medical issue. And now what we have is what? We have people that are dying by fucking fentanyl. We have people that are being overdosed. But shit. But instead of actually changing that, or changing anything about what we're doing the same shit. As if it's gonna change anything. Even it's like we are in a perpetual form of insanity, thinking that, well, boom, alright, if I continue to do it this way, it's gonna work. Like the incarceration, we have the biggest incarceration in the entire fucking planet, and all of those people can't vote, and a lot of them are discriminated against because they're black. Like that's not even something that can be debated. And that's another problem. Debates are not a proper form of gathering information. Okay? It is not. It is a form of putting up information for you in a very concise manner. However, it is not all that accurate because the person that is opposing can say anything, and it make bald, face assertions, and still people will believe that person.
Prepare your defenses. Select your hero.
People will follow up and be like, oh man, that guy's really smart, just because he talked calmly, just because he said he was all calm about himself, even though the other person is screaming at him, being like, you have fucking kids in cages, right? And he's like, well, you see, actually, we have certain laws and the detention centers, we're keeping them safe. They were in dangerous situations, they're in much better conditions now, you know, even though the main reason they're coming here is for asylum, which is what you're literally agreeing to because you say they're safer now than what they were, but then you're saying, well, we can't take them in. We have 30% of the world's wealth and we can't take them in? Fuck you. Just go fuck yourself. Really? Like, I'm a fucking American. I love this country. And that's the reason why people criticize it. That's why you find the things that are good about it and find the things that are bad about it, so we can shift things better. So we can continuously create a better planet as well as a better country. And like, why is that such a big deal? Why can't that just happen? You know, like, we have plenty of wealth, we have plenty of reason. You know, the whole reason of they're human fucking beings, but you know. Jeez. But yeah, like I said, as long as they're calm about it, everything's alright. As long as you're calm. It's fine, because he was very calm. The other person was super emotional. As if that discredits everything that person said just because they said it in an inflection of their fucking voice. This is stupid. If you calmly tell me that climate change is not real and that the Holocaust never happened, then you're still wrong. And it doesn't matter how confident you are about it. You're still wrong. And yet, we have people that straight up believe those others because they are talking calmly, they're not being overly emotional, because we have this conflation of emotion and inaccuracy, which is not okay, because you see people that are passionate about the things that they love and care about, and we discredit them for it.
No one can hide from my sight.
It's a frustrating feeling. It really is. Like, you're saying, you can start saying things to someone and they will outright disregard your existence and your statements simply because you said it in a different tone than they wanted it. Like, but I'm the snowflake. I'm the real snowflake because I'm getting aggressive or I'm getting charged stuff or whatever. Bullshit. Yeah, I'm fucking charged up, motherfucker. There's kids in camps. Remember that? That thing that's not good? The kids thing, right? Just get it through your heads, guys. Like, kids in concentration camps. People are dying because of the fucking conditions that they're in. But we have our government lying. But simultaneously, by the way, it's so crazy to me that so many people are like, small government, small government. But they're completely okay with that government takes a whole bunch of brown people and stuffs them in a fucking cage. Oh yeah, that's fine. We're protecting them from something. Some motherfucker needs to protect them from us.
30 seconds.
T-Box for special attack.
We have a fucking racist president that says shit that everyone defends, no matter what. That everyone just says, oh, well, this. And by the way, so many motherfuckers already pointed out that he was a racist bitch from the get-go. And then so many people also said, oh, well, you're just making it, you're blowing it out of proportion. That's all you're doing.
Victory.
Blowing it out of proportion. He's not a racist because he did this, this, and this, and this, and this. Well, you're wrong, because a lot of people pointed out that, you know,
No one can hide from
he
my sight.
fucking sucks. He was a racist before, he's still a racist. He's just being more open about it. And people pointed that out before he was more open about it. But did people listen to them? Oh, no, 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 no. Don't listen to evidence or whatever, you know. Don't listen to evidence. That's the problem. Like, we just don't. And in our education system, you know, the thing that we should fund to teach people to be fucking educated, or how to explain things, or how to review things, how to understand what's a fact and not just some fucking bald assertion. But we don't. We have a lack of funds in education, that lack of space in education. But we're so busy building walls, building fucking war machines,
Prepare to attack.
which, it doesn't matter if they're Democrat or fucking Republican. They both do that bullshit. And again, that's why you have to take, like, what I've been doing recently is I've been taking away those titles from both of those motherfuckers and just taking their ideas and looking at them. What is this person's idea? What is the implementation of it? What are the effects that's going to happen to them? I don't care who it is. If it's Bernie Sanders and he wants to do something stupid, someone should call that motherfucker out. And that's a good thing. That's not a bad thing. That's a good thing.
No more messing around.
Well, guys, I'm not really sorry for the rant, honestly. This needed to happen. I needed to get this shit out. And I'm sorry for taking so long. I've just been anxious about getting my voice out there again. Because I am extremely insecure. So, I'm just going to be outright with it. Get anxious really quickly. But, fuck, man. I need to do, like, I gotta at least say something. Because there's fucking kids in cages. Alright.